everyone, this is Gaby Goldstein. I'm political director at the Sister District Project, and I'm here with Noah from Pam Iovino's campaign. Noah's going to give us a little update about how the campaign is going. We're in the very last GOTV push here before Tuesday's election, and then we'll do a little call fire training since I think there's a new script. So I'll turn it over to Noah.
Awesome. Thanks, Gaby. Hello, everyone. As Gaby said, my name is Noah. I'm the field director on Pam's campaign. Pam apologizes that she can't make it here today in person. She's at a meet and greet with voters, trying to whip some last votes before tomorrow, I guess Tuesday's election day. The campaign is going really well. We've just been so profoundly appreciative of all the support we've gotten, both in the district and outside the district. Yesterday, we knocked on about 7,000 doors collectively. That included a group of maybe 35 to 40 SEIU members from that union. I don't know if you've ever worked with that union, but they are the best union in the world. They deliver, they really care, and I've worked with multiple of their members on different campaigns, so really appreciative of them. I apologize if there's some background noise. We're in one of our staging locations in a barn next to the airport. So we're getting very scrappy, pulling out all the stops for GOTV, like many of you are familiar with. We're hoping to knock another about 30,000 doors today, tomorrow, and Tuesday. Really one last push. We're feeling really positive, I think optimistically, about Tuesday. We've seen that the polls have tightened a little bit, but nothing sort of out of the ordinary. And sort of our opponent's continual attack on Pam's character and her support of these late-term abortion bills in New York and other states, voters seem to be hearing them, but we don't see that they are having a big impact on our base and our voters who we really need to turn out and to win. So we're really happy with how things are going. Once again, thank you so much for everything that y'all are doing today and the next couple of days. Making phone calls, the postcards you wrote, we got those in last week. They looked amazing. Put those in the mail on Friday, so they should be landing tomorrow or maybe Tuesday at the latest for that last touch of the voter. And so so I'll move into just sort of a quick tutorial or just a review of call fire. So it's a similar system as everyone's used in the past. The sort of changes, like Gaby mentioned, is to the script. I think many of you are seasoned when it comes to GOTV. It's knocking doors or making phone calls, and so we're using the make a plan script that I think many folks have used. And so part of it is firstly reviewing and confirming that the voter supports Pam. These voters are a combination of people who have previously expressed support for Pam and people who, based on their demographics, based on where they live, we're very confident that they support Pam. So it's a combination of those two. But first confirming that they support Pam, and then moving into the when, the where, the who else, sort of the plan of voting. Where are you voting? What time do you go? Do you go in the morning on the way to work? Do you go during lunch? Do you go after work? Do you go some other time during the day? Who else are you taking with you? Do you take your partner? Do you take your children? Do you take your friend? Making it walking them through their day to really cement that plan before election day has seen to increase results at the polls. So that's sort of the main thing to walk through with them on. And obviously note anyone who is not supportive or who is dismissive or refused or whatnot. But sort of these conversations, we had some folks making phone calls yesterday, and they were overwhelmingly positive that people were happy to hear. You're going to get, of course, the people who are like, oh, you called me yesterday, or, this is the third person who's talked to me in a week. Just reassure them that, we're just trying to remind voters it's a special election. So we want to make sure that voters are aware of the upcoming election. I guess one issue to flag is like you will hear more about it, like the late term abortion. I sort of mentioned it earlier. I think some people are familiar with the bill that was passed in New York that gave expanded healthcare access, in my opinion, to women and allowed more choice to be made. But the way that Pam's opponent has been just all of his TV ads have just been, radical socialist Pam Iovino supports, late-term abortion and post-birth abortions, and just these very blunt and inaccurate statements. And so you will hear from some voters, oh, I heard she supports this or supports that. I would just remind you to go back to the issues briefing that I think we passed around at the beginning. With the language that we have there, it really just solid, and it brings the conversation back to what is actually the conversation about, which is just Pam supports Roe v. Wade. She supports women having the choice with their doctors to make the best decision for them and their families, and to bring that conversation back to the actual conversation. We've seen that voters tend to, when you start to discuss like what a late-term abortion means, and like that post-birth abortions like is not this is not like part of the conversation. Voters typically sort of understand, but initially there may be a little bit of confusion about what it means and what that stands for. The other thing to remind people about is, there's been no bill proposed in Pennsylvania that would address this or sort of be in relation to this. I mean, that doesn't speak for the future, but this is a Pennsylvania state Senate race. This is not a New York state Senate race or a Maryland or any other state, and we're really focused on the issues in Pennsylvania. So I think that's all I had. Once again, thank you so much for what everyone is doing, and looking forward to hearing the calls.
Great. Thank you so much, Noah. This has been so great, and it's great to hear that you guys are out knocking doors. I'm sorry to miss Pam, but I'm glad she's out there at a meet and greet. Yeah. And we're just, 48 hours until the election. So our fingers are so crossed. We've been so proud to support y'all in this campaign, and really excited for Tuesday.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks, Gabby. Have a good one.
Great. Thanks. Bye.